Hey guys, welcome to the Spooky Swan podcast. I'm Jess,
I'm Josh.
and we have another episode for you guys. Hopefully, a really good one,
Yeah.
I would say. So, last week I landed on
Guess the killer.
Guess the Killer. I was like, I kind of forgot. Guess the Killer. So, you know how I always try to opt for a teen horror?
Yeah, it's your favorite.
I found a way, guys. I found a way. So with Guess the Killer, I chose I guess I would say teen horror, right?
Yeah.
This one's also horror crime. It's not comedy this time because I feel like we lean a lot into comedy,
Mm-hmm.
horror comedy. Well, at least I do. I know I do. So this one is called There's Someone Inside Your House, and it came out 2021. It is on Netflix for anybody who wants to go ahead and check it out. And it's a pretty good one, would you say?
I enjoyed this one a lot. I also like
Mhm.
the fact that the high school kids in this movie actually look like high school kids and not 35 years old.
I think at the time they were a lot of them are pretty young. I guess they would probably be in the early 20s when they were in this one or mid 20s, but I think that's a good range to play high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know with filming, the reason why they usually don't want to use actual kids that are under 18 is because there's so much restrictions.
Yeah.
So they usually just opt for somebody who's pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
The only sucky thing is I didn't really know anybody part of the cast too much. Did you?
No, I didn't either. I don't know. I feel like I recognized maybe like one or two of them, but it was pretty much a cast of like new people. Um, but no, I actually really enjoyed this one a lot. Um, it it did something new, which is when they try to make like a new slasher movie,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have an iconic killer, and you have to have like if they wear a mask, it has to be iconic, like Ghostface, Jason. You know what I mean? But in this one, they kind of switched it up. So the mask, we could say it's not really spoiling.
Yeah.
It's in the trailer. The killer 3D prints a mask of the person he's going to kill.
Yeah, which is a pretty cool concept. I do agree with you. The only sucky thing is I feel like those masks did not look like the people. Like I wouldn't have been able to like look at the mask and be like, oh shit, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah. There, I'll say which one it is later, but I feel like there was only one out of the whole bunch that actually looked like the person. But I'll get into that later.
The last one?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Because that's the only one to me that also looked like an actual mask of the physical person.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Josh said, we'll get into it. So this one didn't do too great on Rotten Tomatoes, but I always take Rotten Tomatoes with a grain of salt because sometimes they say a movie is extremely bad and it ends up being really good, or vice versa. They say a movie is amazing and they give it like a 90-something% and then it's trash.
Mm.
So take it with a grain of salt. They gave it a 47% rate.
That's it?
That's it.
That's actually surprising.
It's not too bad though. Like it's almost a 50%. So
Still.
could go either way. So this one is basically the plot. I wrote down the plot again. A masked killer targeting high school students in Nebraska to expose their darkest secrets. That was the summary of the plot
Yeah, it's
that was
straightforward.
online. I think that's straightforward. But if we're going to summarize it from our point of view, I'd probably say it's about a girl who moves from Hawaii with her grandma. She has a very dark secret and she's trying to run away from it. And she changes her last name to her mother's maiden name, moves in with her grandma, transfers over junior, senior year, around that
Yeah,
age.
makes a bunch of friends. You know.
Makes a whole bunch of friends. And pretty much the whole movie follows along this friend group. So the protagonist is Makani, which I love that name. So cute. I was telling Josh I really like that name. I don't think for our future children, because I just don't think that...
We're not Hawaiian.
We're not Hawaiian. I don't think our children could pull off Makani.
Probably not.
I don't think...
it would get questioned a lot.
It would get questioned a lot. I mean, I'm not white. You're white, mixed with a whole bunch of different things.
I'm a mutt.
So our children are going to be mixed, but neither one of us are Hawaiian.
No.
So it's a very pretty name. I only think a few people could pull it off. Which this main girl, I think she really pulled it off really well.
It fit.
Yeah, it fit. She also has other friends, Alex, Darby. Darby is non-binary. Rodrigo, Zach, and later on Caleb also becomes a part of their little friend group.
Yeah, they befriend him early on in the movie, due to reasons that we'll get into.
Oh, there is a car honking in the background.
Gotta love it.
I don't think it's mine, though.
No, it's not.
I love how Frankie is perched on the chair behind you.
Frankie's like a parrot.
Yeah.
Hey, Frankie.
She's very, very tiny.
She's very small.
This is our tiniest cat. She tiptoes between like 6 pounds and barely hitting 7 pounds. I'm convinced she was the runt of the litter.
I'm a very giant man, so when I pick her up and I hold her, it's very fun to watch because she's very tiny compared to me. But so, yeah, I enjoyed this movie. The first thing I'm going to point out that annoyed me, because there's two main things that annoyed me. Why are they in Nebraska and like 3 people only have an accent?
They have an accent in Nebraska?
Yes.
Hmm.
Because I'll point it out as we get into it more.
Gotcha.
But
so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really good at placing where each state is on a map of the U.S. I'll probably get like the East Coast correct because we live on the East Coast. Anything to do with in the middle of the map, I'm like, nope.
Nebraska is nothing but corn, and I'm sorry if that offends people, but any movie we have watched that takes place in Nebraska, they celebrate corn in some way.
And what do they have? Like, what kind of accents do they have usually?
It's like a very chill Southern-ish accent.
But not strong.
Not strong. It's not like West Virginia where you have to like get an interpreter.
Gotcha. So it does make sense why Makani wouldn't have an accent because, of course, she's moving from Hawaii. Who would dip on Hawaii to move to Nebraska? No, thank you.
Someone with a dark secret.
Yes. And that's pretty much what this movie is about.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. By the way, we have a special announcement for you guys. We're going to let you guys know about it toward the end of the episode. Towards the end, probably not the end. So maybe it'll entice you to continue listening to the whole episode.
Yes. But I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, let's get into it.
Would you like to start it off, or would you like me to start it off?
I'll kick it off.
All right, kick it off.
So, movie starts off with a close-up of our dream house, which we point out every time we watch this movie.
Oh my God, I love that house.
Just the farmhouse with the wraparound porch.
And it's yellow.
Yellow.
It's very cute. I would take it in white, too.
I'd take it in any color.
Yeah, I would take it in any color. I would love a pink house, though.
I know you would.
I'm a very pink girl.
Yeah.
So, but like a light pink.
All right.
Will you paint it for me?
I'm gonna have to. So, yeah, it starts off shot of our dream house, and then you meet Jackson. He's the first person you meet. He's the football player. He's walking into the house, home from school, on the phone. He's a total douche, just right off the bat. They're talking about girls. And he's like, I wouldn't go near her in a million years. Like, he's just a douche. So he he sees an egg timer, and he's like, oh, I thought my family were gone. I guess they're around the house somewhere. So he thinks nothing of it. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to take a nap before the game. And he goes and passes out in his room. And then it cuts to hours later. It's like pitch black, but the egg timer is now sitting on his nightstand. And that wakes him up, and he's confused. He's like, why the fuck is this in my room?
Yeah. Well, he sees that it's dark,
Mm.
pitch dark, because I guess he was only going to get a couple of hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And then go to his game, which I thought was weird because usually, from my knowledge, when you do football and you have a game, you're basically staying there the whole day. You don't really go home.
I guess. I don't know. In some cases, I would personally, I would take a fucking nap before the game, but that's just me.
But I just feel like you don't like get an opportunity to even go home because a lot of the football players practice a little bit and warm up and shit. So you don't really have enough time to go home. Because I know from our town, the football players would usually run over to, we had a McDonald's near our high school at the time. Rest in peace, it's not there anymore. But a lot of the football players would run to McDonald's, eat, and then go back to the field. So I just feel like a lot of them don't really have time to be going home. But anyways, it's just a movie, so
Can I side note real quick about that McDonald's?
go for it.
You just reminded me of something. So the old McDonald's in our town, after it shut down and they like boarded it up, people broke into it to film, and they found that there was a basement inside.
Ooh.
And they went into the basement, and it was weirdly 70s style with shag carpeting and like wood paneled walls. And there was no reason for it to have a basement, especially like that. But yeah, you reminded me of that McDonald's.
Where the heck do you access the basement
I don't know.
in there?
I can't even fathom where it would be. But yeah, they had filmed it and put it online. I'm sure it's still there. But yeah, it's creepy as shit.
Well, after this, I guess Josh is going to have to show me that video so we can kind of try to place where the heck this basement is.
Yeah, I'll have to find it.
I might have to go through my contacts and find somebody who used to work there.
Yeah.
To ask if they've ever seen
creepy 70s basement.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's walking through his house, trying to see who's fucking with him.
Well, at first he doesn't because he's late for his game. So he's like, oh shit. And then he grabs his shit, runs out the door. The door is fucking wide open and he thinks nothing of it.
Nope. He's just like, I'm late. I don't give a fuck.
I'm late. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I've watched this movie several times and I just peeped this little snippet. Like he runs outside and his car is not there. Because I was always like, why would you go back inside the house?
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, his car's not there. And you were like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never peeped that until now.
That, and he told his buddy when he's like, oh, I thought my parents were out tailgating. I never thought anything of it until I realized he's in high school. Who the fuck tailgates a high school football game?
I don't know. There's a lot of... So the movie is good. I'm not going to tell you it's a bad movie, but there are some questionable things about this film.
Yes.
That you're just like, why? Or this grinds my gears because this is so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we will get into it. We will point it out as we go through this film.
Oh, yeah.
And when you go ahead and watch it, or maybe you have watched it already, you'll have that in the back of your mind and you'll be like, yeah, you're right.
Dumb as shit. So he goes back in the house and he starts to call the cops, I think, right?
So he starts seeing pictures at
Yeah,
this point.
he goes to call the cops, but then he hangs up because he sees a picture of him and it was Caleb, right?
Caleb.
Caleb,
Yes.
who we mentioned earlier. And they're posing for a picture. It's nice and buddy buddy, but you see the look on his face, on Jackson's face, and he gets very nervous because he recognizes the night that picture was taken. So he turns and he sees more pictures going up the stairs. So he starts grabbing them and like crumbling them up and following the trail basically. And he kicks open the bedroom door and he doesn't see anybody. And he goes to the walk in closet and he runs in with a golf club and starts swinging.
Oh, thank God you didn't ask me for that name because I was going to say,
Golf club?
the golf stick thingy.
A golf whacker. No.
Yeah, I don't do golf.
Nah, that's fine. He goes in, he starts swinging, and he doesn't see anybody, but he sees a bunch of pictures from the night that he was thinking back to, which you learn his secret, which is he was involved in a very brutal hazing of Caleb.
And he looked like he was the main person who he brutalized.
He beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I was actually at first before you know it's Caleb that hazing went on to. I was like, oh my God, like did they kill a kid?
That's what I thought. I didn't realize it was him at first.
Yeah.
But they had there's pictures of him with like a bag on his head and Jackson's just punching him mercilessly in the face and there's blood everywhere. And they had to like pull him off of him.
His face is fucked up.
Yeah, like he's like spitting blood. And as he's looking at these pictures, you see a hand with a large knife come out right by his ankles and slice both of them wide open. And then the video he shows him the video, right? I believe the killer comes out and he's wearing the mask of Jackson's face and he shows him the video of him beating the shit out of Caleb.
Yeah, and then while that's going on, the video gets leaked to every single person in town, and his parents were in the stands pretty much waiting for him and saying, like, where the heck is he? He never skips out on game because the whole town is there to watch football.
Yeah, that's all there is.
And there is a person on the field, I think it was Caleb, getting a touchdown.
Yeah, he's running, gets the touchdown, he turns around all excited, and he turns around and realizes
everybody's on their phone looking at this video.
Yeah. And he's like, what the fuck's happening? And then it cuts back to Jackson. He gets stabbed in the chest by the killer, and then he just leaves him.
Yep. So he dead. He dies.
He's dead, which at this point you're like, all right, good. Fuck him. He was a piece of shit anyway.
I love that intro killing because it just reminds me of Scream a little bit.
Yeah.
How they always set up their movies. There's always like some type of kill in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was our kill.
Yeah.
For the beginning.
And then it cuts to back at school. This is where we meet McConaughey, Zach, Rodrigo, Alex, and Darby. And this scene was pretty funny because there's not like a shrine, but like, they put the pictures of Jackson and like candles and all that. And McConaughey goes and she puts a get well soon card. And she's like, what? It was all that was left at the store. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny. And then her friends were kind of annoyed that he was being celebrated
Mm.
and that people were like so sad about it and stuff because it seemed like they beat the crap out of Caleb.
Mm.
Nobody cares that that happened to him.
Mm.
And it seemed like a homophobic attack because Caleb, we do know that he's gay.
Yeah.
So then a lot of people were like, he probably went at him because he was gay.
Yeah. And this is the part where the accent thing caught my attention. Because up until this point, everybody's talking like we are now.
Uh-huh.
They sound like us. And then this stupid asshole gets up and he's like, I got to make a speech, I guess. He's like, well, Jackson took a knee on the field of life. And I sure hope there's football where you're going. And it's like, why do you have a thick accent if nobody else does? And then he starts singing and everybody starts, it's very cringy. But then they cut to lunch. And this is where we officially meet Caleb because he's walking and nobody wants him to sit with them because they're like,
Yeah, none of the football players want him. Like, why is it his fault?
well, they all suspect him.
He didn't choose to get beat.
Yeah, but they suspect him of killing Jackson.
I think it's funny that they would think that because wouldn't you think he would do that right away
Maybe.
after the hazing?
But they never really said how long ago it was.
That's true. You're right. All right, we'll let it slide.
Let it
Let
slide.
it slide. So then McConaughey's group was like, hey, like you can come sit with us.
Yeah. And, you know, they're very welcoming aside from Alex and Rodrigo. They're kind of, I don't know, they're against it at first.
I don't think they were mean. I think they were just kind of in their, I think they're in their own little world
Yeah.
a little bit. Darby was really nice about it and stuff. But anyways, he goes to sit with them. He introduces himself. He tries to shake their hand.
Alex like, this ain't a country club.
Pretty much just come sit. Like basically don't make a big deal out of it. Just come sit and chill.
No.
I didn't think it was mean. I just thought it was, some people just don't like to be touched.
I'm that way. I don't like people.
Yeah.
But this is where we meet the overly religious girl, Katie.
Uh-huh.
This piece of shit.
Now this actress, the only thing I recognize her from is Virgin River, which is a romance show on Netflix.
Sure.
And she plays Lizzie.
Okay. I'll take your word
For
for it.
anybody who knows that show. But, going back real quick, the girl who plays McConaughey, Sydney Park, she is going to be in the new Scary Movie.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, so...
She's the one who gets stabbed in the train in the trailer, right? I'm pretty sure, now that I'm thinking about it.
I think so, but yeah, she's going to be in the 2026 Scary Movie, so...
That's hilarious. Okay.
We'll keep her there, because we will be reviewing that when that comes out.
She's a very good actress. I liked her in this, so I'm there for it.
Yeah, I would love to see her in way more things to come.
Yeah. But this is where, like I was saying, we meet the religious girl, Katie, who, she's a piece of shit. And she gets up and she's like, I gotta make my speech now. And no one's asking these kids to do this. They're just getting up and saying shit on their own free will.
Well, she just feels that she's entitled to because she's student council.
Yeah. And she works at the church and all that stuff. And she was like, I'm going to talk about my, was it college essay? And she mentioned Darby.
Yeah, Darby, again, I had mentioned Darby was non-binary, at least for this film.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure Darby, the real actress, identifies as a woman. She was in the VHS tapes.
VHS?
VHS 99.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
like that one.
I know that you like
I love
watching
those.
those. I've only watched the first one and then the
You
more
watched-
recent one, the Halloween one.
You watched the 80s one, and you
Mhm.
really liked that one.
I did. I really liked that one. Again, those types of movies not for everybody, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they're more found footage.
I think you left it on by accident, and I ended up watching it, and I
I
think you fell asleep.
I leave those movies on a lot, I'll be honest,
Uh-huh.
because I fall asleep constantly.
Yeah, and usually I end up watching a movie by myself
Yeah.
that he just randomly put on, and I just sit there and I end up watching it. And then I'm like, "Oh, that movie was really good." And then he's like, "When did you watch that?"
Yeah.
Like with Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I was dying of COVID, and I passed out on the couch right at the opening credits, and you sat and watched the whole movie.
Yeah, and I was hysterically laughing.
Yeah.
And
Movie
then there would be
funny as
times
shit.
you would flutter your eyes open and be like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yo, this movie's so funny. Like,
Yeah.
why have you never put this on for me?" And then you're like, "Okay." And then he would go back to sleep.
Just because I was dead asleep and I heard Uncle Eddie yell, "Shitter's full," and I just started laughing and I passed out again. Um, yeah, Katie also, she started her whole spiel by talking about women's suffrage and then quoting Princess Diana, which Alex immediately pointed out. Why would you quote a royal when it comes to women's suffrage or something like that? And then she's like, I'm writing about a girl who goes through a lot of hardship at my school. Her name is Darby, and they go by they, them, and blah, blah. And she, like, mortified her.
Yeah,
Just
or her or him. Some days she goes by him.
yeah, depending on the day. She just embarrasses the shit out of her. And that's kind of where you learn that Katie's a bad person, like right away. It gets worse.
Yeah, or at least homophobic, at least by that point.
Yeah. Um, then it's after school. They're all hanging out outside. They decide to get stoned in Zach's car because that's all they do for fun, really.
Yeah, so they're about to pull out their car. Well, first of all, somebody trashed Zach's car.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because his father owns the majority of the town. He's very wealthy and he bought out a lot of families' farms.
Yeah, so a lot of people bully the crap out of Zach. These are pretty much the outcast types of group
Yeah.
of friends that found friendship in each other, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they're about to like drive away and they almost hit into this is where we meet Ollie.
Ollie. Yeah. You see him making eyes at um, McConaughey in the cafeteria, but you don't know anything of it yet. And then they almost run into him and he's like flipping them off and just drives away calmly. And they're like,
Yeah, I thought that was dumb.
yeah. And they get stoned and then it cuts to we meet McConaughey's grandma. And we learn that she has a sleepwalking disorder. So there's like bells hanging on all the doors. And she's trying to get McConaughey to apply to colleges. And again, they don't say what her past is, but she alludes to it. She's like, why would I do that? All they would have to do is Google my name and they would immediately turn me down. And, it's just their little back and forth.
Yeah, and then so McConaughey changes the subject, starts talking about Graham's sleeping disorder because she was looking into possibly going to a program
Mm-hmm.
for that. And she was like, I signed myself up for next month, just to let you know. And then McConaughey's like, oh, you should just be drinking some tea, some sleepy time tea or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't really help if you have a sleeping disorder.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
So then we get to the next day and it's the church service.
Oh no, you missed an important part. So they go to bed.
Mm.
McConaughey hears the bells.
Oh, yeah.
And she wakes up at night and she sneaks downstairs and she's like, Graham. And the door is wide open.
Mm.
The house is trashed. Like there's pots and pans everywhere. The
Everything's
drawers.
taken out and stacked on the table.
I know. And then the cabinets are opened and stuff. She walks out the front door and is like, hello. And then, so if you're jumpy, you'll probably jump for this part.
Mm.
So she goes back in the house and right there is her Graham, like out of it.
Yeah, Plus the glazed over look on her face because she's like sleepwalking is really creepy.
Oh my god, that was creepy. I was like, shit, is it about to turn into that movie? You know that movie? I honestly don't remember the name of it, but I know that movie where
Oh, I love this. All right, let's go. What do you got?
oh god.
I love when you do this. Come on now.
Okay. I'm trying to piece it together so I don't make it sound really bad. Okay, so you know that movie where I think the mom drops off the kids at their grandparents' house and the grandparents end up not being the grandparents, but they're acting like fucking crazy. Like at first they're like loving and stuff, but then they tell the kids, don't go out of your rooms past a certain time, like stay in your rooms.
Yeah, it's The Visit.
Oh, the visit. Okay.
Yeah, and then the kids FaceTime the mom and they're like,
Yeah.
grandparents are acting really funny. And she's like, where are they? Let me see them. And they turn the camera out into the yard and she's like, those aren't your fucking grandparents. You need to get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, is this movie about to turn into that? Is Graham gonna start like walking on the ceiling or something?
Yeah, but no, she's just sleepy.
No, yeah, she's just a very bad sleepwalker.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. But now it's the church service and we see Katie in her white robes, putting down pamphlets of Jackson because it's like his service. And we see up in the balcony another person in, white robes, uh, lighting candles and doing what they do up there. So she's having a whole conversation basically at this person because they're not responding. And then as she's turned away, that person disappears and we see doors getting locked.
Then she gets a text message from
The person she was talking to.
the person that she thought she was talking to that said, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm sick.
Mm.
And then she's like, yeah, whatever. You're effing with me because I was just talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nice try.
Yeah.
Then you see a hand lock the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's when her fun podcast pops up on the projector behind her. And we learn that she's a white supremacist who has an anonymous podcast talking about how great it is to be white and all of that and very hateful shit.
Hateful towards other races and being homophobic and stuff like that. Just really bad.
Really bad.
Really, really, really bad shit.
And she gets nervous and confused and what the fuck is going on? And that's when the other person in white robes comes in and we see the killer wearing her face now. And they pull out a knife and she immediately is like, that's not me. This is fake. I didn't do any of this. This isn't me.
Yeah, lying. This isn't me. Oh my God, it was only one episode. I posted it anonymously, which doesn't make it right.
No, don't post it at all.
Yeah. Things have a way of biting you in the ass.
Yes, especially racist podcast.
Yeah, people have their ways of tracking you down.
Yeah, 100%.
It's way easier to track somebody down.
Yeah.
Now, just even by just a simple picture, it's so easy. Remember, your sister moved?
You found her house immediately.
And I found the address of her house immediately just by taking that picture. Very creepy. Very creepy. Don't. Yeah. But I am a little creepy. It's fine. So I took the picture and I dragged it into Google and it gave me the address. I was like, you see, this is why we don't post pictures.
Yeah, it's never a good idea.
Yeah.
So she gets attacked. She gets stabbed and thrown around and she's climbing under the pews, dragging blood everywhere. And then she hides in the confessional booth. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
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 And this part confused me. The confessional booth is not small. It's a pretty wide box thing. If you've been in one, you know what I mean. So the knife comes through the booth,
Mm-hmm.
and then a hand comes through the back and pushes her head into it. How did they reach around to put I don't know. Watch the movie, you'll see what I mean. But she gets stabbed in the face.
No, 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 no. So, they're poking around the box, right?
Yeah.
They're poking around the box. She's kind of like maneuvering herself away from the knife.
Mhm.
At one point, she's on the other side of where the knife is, and then the person where they stabbed a whole bunch of times pushes their hand through,
Mhm.
and because the knife is already through the thing, they left the knife there,
Mm.
and then they push her head onto the knife.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
That makes
I
more
was
sense.
like, if my explanation doesn't make sense, I would have to draw it for you,
No, that actually made a lot of sense. I didn't
and
think of that.
then you'd be like,
Huh?
"No, don't," because I'm not good at drawing, but that's the best way I could probably explain it.
Understandable.
Yes.
But right after this, we see the priest show up with the keys to unlock the church where everybody's outside waiting to come in.
See, this is where I think it's so stupid
Yeah,
because
you
I
pointed
keep
this out.
saying, "Why doesn't he open the door?" Because obviously it's locked, so I would assume something's going on.
Mm.
Um, so I would open the door, peek in if I were the priest,
Mm.
and then if I saw something that I didn't want anybody else to see,
Yeah.
I would tell people, "Hey, back up. I'm going to go in. I'll probably take one other person with me
Mhm.
to take care of the situation and not have the whole friggin' town come in."
Yeah, the entire congregation follows him in to find Katie hanging while her hate speech podcast plays in the background.
Yeah, which is just insane.
It's crazy.
And there's blood everywhere, too.
Blood everywhere. Like she got fucked up.
It was a pretty good kill.
It was
I will
great.
say that.
It
They have
was
some pretty good kills in this movie.
up to this point, the kills were satisfying and
Yes.
felt I hate to say it, felt justified.
It
In a
made
sense,
sense.
yeah, they made sense. Uh, After this, we see Rodrigo call McConaughey as his mom is banging on the bathroom door and he's pill popping. And she's like, you always call me when you really want to call Alex. And this is where we learn he has a big crush on her. And he's like, yeah, I guess you're right, whatever. And then we see all the kids in the police station. Because of this second murder, they're going to start questioning kids in that grade. So we see the whole group of friends there. And right as Zach thinks it's going to be his turn, the cop comes out of the office like, yep, your father hired his lawyer, so you're free to go.
Yeah, so then everybody's, like, booing him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, how convenient. And
Mhm,
he's pissed because he wants to be like everybody else, but he's very privileged.
mhm.
So he's like, fuck it, I'll just leave. So he leaves. And that's when we meet his father in the parking lot.
Mhm.
And he's like, get in the car. And he's talking to him. And he's like, you smell like weed. This whole town is gunning for me because, we're buying up their farms. And you go into the police station smelling like weed, putting a target on our back. And we find out that he's just like a real piece of shit that doesn't really care about his son. It's more about their image.
Yeah,
And then they cut back to the other kids in the police station and they're like, do you guys think the killer could be someone in this room? And they're, the classic questions they ask in these movies during these scenes.
yeah. So, last person to get questioned is McConaughey.
Hmm.
Ollie is there
Hmm.
with her because Ollie's brother is the
Deputy.
deputy. Thank you for that. And he was like, "Yeah, I have to wait for my brother," like, and this is where we find out they might have had, like, a summer fling or something, before school started. And once school started, she made the friends she made and completely isolated him out
Yeah, just ghosted him.
because nobody's friends with him. Everybody thinks he's creepy.
Mm.
A lot of people think he is the killer.
Well, there's a rumor they're like, oh, he killed his parents or something like
Yeah,
that. Like,
because he had behavioral issues and stuff.
yeah.
He looks a little creepy too.
Yeah,
They casted him pretty well.
they did. Yeah.
Sorry to the actor who plays him, but you are a little creepy looking.
Just a little.
Yeah. So you fit perfectly. And she's like, basically like, please don't talk to me kind of thing. Anyway, she gets called in. She gets questioned by the brother. Basically like, oh, so you moved here from Hawaii, you're a transfer student, just basic generic questions.
Mm.
Oh, did you know Katie? Did you know Jackson? And obviously the answers are no.
Mm.
And right away he's like, okay, like I could see you're a good kid, so I'm gonna let you go. Kind of thing.
He's kind of a moron, this cop.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Because he comes out, he's like, hey, did you steal my taser? Like, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he went out and asked his brother, oh, did you see who stole my taser?
Now he's like, fucking no.
No.
Like, what? He's like, you should watch your shit, bro.
He's like, oh, okay. Goes back in the room. Then McConaughey's like, do you want to get out of here? Like, to Ollie. And then he's like, but there's curfew because there's a town curfew now.
Yeah, she just ignores it and walks out the door.
Yep. So they're driving. He's smoking a cigarette. They're playing music. They're chilling. And he's like, okay, like, what do you want to do? And she's like, let's just do what we always do. So they park into...
Someone's driveway.
You think it's some random person's driveway?
That's a random person's driveway. None of them lived there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I know obviously she doesn't live there, but he doesn't live there?
No. I guarantee it's not his house.
You guarantee it's not his house?
Because he wouldn't risk it having his brother come home and catch them.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Mm-hmm. Well, that's weird.
It's very weird.
Because I would fucking come out and be like, hello?
Can y'all stop going at it in my driveway, please?
Can you, like, leave?
Yeah. The fuck? I would call his brother and be like, hey, there's 2 kids. And
hey, your brother's outside hooking up with a girl on my driveway.
in my goddamn driveway.
Yeah.
So that's happening. And then they immediately get spooked because a bunch of kids run by. And they're like, what the fuck is happening if there's curfew? And that's when their phones go off and the text messages of a secret party at Zach's dad's house. So they're like, all right, fuck it, let's go. So they go to this giant mansion, this very out of place mansion in this small Nebraska town. And everybody from school is there and they're walking through the crowd of people and everyone's telling their secrets to each other.
Yeah, it's a secret party.
Yeah, and McConaughey's like, oh, secret party, got it. They'll play on words for you.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because I guess the town doesn't have Uber, so there's this one guy who probably graduated a couple years back. His name's Dave. I wrote it down. Dave, yeah. And he's just like trying to hand out business cards and say like, yeah, if anybody needs a safe ride home, like.
It's a solid business plan, but he's just creepy.
Yeah, he's just very creepy about it.
Yeah.
Like, he's awkward about it.
Very. So they get to their group of friends, and, well, McConaughey does. Ollie just stands awkwardly on the side. And Alex and Rodrigo are immediately like...
She's so rude, though.
Yeah.
McConaughey is so rude because I would have been like, hey, guys, I'm hanging out with Ollie. He's not a killer. He's pretty cool.
He didn't murder people. Move over, make a spot for him.
Yeah. Like, I was hanging out with him. I would have brought him over, but instead she dips on him and goes, and then she allows her friends to be nasty to him.
Yeah, Alex is like, "Yo, what are you looking at, you creep?" And then Rodrigo's like, "Everybody knows you're a sociopath." And then he just says, "Fuck this," and walks away.
Yeah, like, that's so fucked up
It's very fucked up.
that she doesn't stick up for him at all. Like, if I were Ollie, I would have been like, "Fuck you, I'm not
Yeah, you're an asshole.
fucking with you either. You're worse than your friends."
Yeah. So they ask Zach, like, "What the fuck? How are you having this party? Like, isn't your dad gonna be pissed?" And he's like, "He's away on a safari," which is weird. I didn't know people still did that, but he's like, "Yeah, he couldn't pass up a good safari trip, so he's gone." And, I figured it would be best that everybody just gets their secrets out in the open so that they don't won't be the next victims, which is a smart-ish plan, I guess. But
Yeah, so you hear random people being like, "Yeah, like, I had a miscarriage last year." That was weird.
that was weird. And then her friend was like, "Wait, we're telling real
We're
secrets?" Like,
telling
"Oh."
real secrets. And then who starts it off? I think Darby starts it off. So Darby gets accepted into a NASA program.
Mhm,
So they were like cheering her on. They were like, "Oh my God, like Darby, that's amazing." Then Zach says he's failing every single class.
mhm.
He's going to get a notice home
It's not graduating yet.
that he's not graduating. He's like, "I'm probably not graduating. My GPA is at a 1 point something,"
1 point fucked is how he said it.
pretty much. And then afterwards, Alex goes and Alex is like, "I have a secret crush on," she points to Rodrigo. And then you can tell Rodrigo's nervous at first because I think at this point he was about to be like, "I'm popping pills, guys."
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he was thinking about
He's
it.
hooked on fucking fentanyl and shit.
Yeah, but then Alex was like, "I have a secret crush on you." And then Rodrigo was like, "Oh my God, like me too. I have a crush on you."
Mhm.
And then they were like, "Okay, go, McConaughey." And McConaughey's like, "I wrote poetry,"
Yeah. The most who gives a shit secret.
basically. They're like, "Oh, cool, really? Like,
Fun.
fun." So Alex and Rodrigo go off to a closet. They start making out. Was it a closet or was it like I guess some pantry? It was a pantry.
Yeah, because there's chips, because someone's banging on the door, and he's like, "I want chips." So she throws a bag at him. He's like, "Sour cream and onion." She's like, "Fuck off."
Yeah,
And then while that's happening, Zach basically gives his little speech. Everyone's giving fucking speeches in this movie.
yeah.
But he's saying how he knows that everybody makes fun of him and hates him because of his father. And he's like, "But my father has a big secret of his own." And then he lights up a room that, for whatever reason, nobody walked into, even though it was right the fuck there. The room lights up and it's full of Nazi memorabilia and uniforms and weapons and all kinds of shit that is horrible. And he's like, "My father is one of the top Nazi memorabilia collectors in the country. And I've decided to turn almost all of these things into pipes and bongs and hookahs." And like he's like, oh, he pulled a pistol out at one point, and everybody thought he was going to shoot himself. And then he pulls the trigger, and then he lets out a big puff of smoke, and they're like, "Oh." But
I love when he's describing all the Nazi stuff.
mhm.
You just hear some kid in the background saying, "That's fucked up."
Yeah, that's fucked. There's a lot of Nazi shit. So he was like, "So, enjoy it." Everybody just, B-roll of people getting high with gas masks and like Nazi shit and fun techno music. And then that's when Alex and Rodrigo,
I think I'd leave.
if there was a big techno Nazi party, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "I don't feel comfortable. I'm gonna go
Yeah, I'm gonna go anywhere else.
anywhere else
So,
because this is fucked up."
yeah, Nazis are not fun. So Alex and Rodrigo come out of the pantry, and Alex is like, "Oh, I'll meet you back with everybody else," and she goes skipping off, all happy. And then Rodrigo looks down, which if there's a big party going on, I wouldn't have noticed what he did, which was there was a pill laying on the floor, And then he looked down and, like, picked it up, and then he saw another one and another one leading into the room of people. So he runs in and
I think I'd probably crush one of the pills and then look down.
yeah, that would have made more sense. Like, "Oh, I stepped on something."
That's what they should have done.
Yeah,
But if he is pill popping, you are a little bit more paranoid and shit
I guess.
as it is. So,
Yeah. Well, he runs after the trail of pills into, the living room full of people, and that's when all the phones start going off, and there's just a meme of him popping pills and letting out his secret that he has an addiction,
hmm
and then the killer pops up wearing a mask of his face,
yeah. And someone yells out loud, someone's wearing a mask of Rodrigo.
which they had to yell out because if they didn't, you wouldn't realize it was his face. It looked nothing like him, I'm sorry.
Yeah. None of them. Like, Jackson's face didn't look like him.
Nope.
Katie's face didn't look like her.
Mm-mm.
It was just, no, they don't look like them.
They did their best.
So I would have looked at that mask and been like, there's a killer here, but I don't know whose face he's wearing.
There's a killer here.
Yeah. And I'd be like, but it's not tan, so it's not me.
Yeah. Jeez.
That's how I would know if it was me or not, if it was tan or not.
Yeah.
We're going off of color
Fair.
at that rate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a mask of Rodrigo. Everybody's running out of the house, and Rodrigo is running the opposite direction.
Yeah, everyone scatters and he just runs down a hallway and hides in a closet. And you hear it go dead silent because everybody had ran out at this point. And then you see like the shadow of the killer walk by the door. And that's when his phone goes off. And I guess the killer heard that and like attacked him through the door.
Yeah, so the killer comes back and starts, you know, breaking the door open.
Yeah.
And then he finds some vent to crawl through
Mm-hmm.
that is clean and big.
Yeah.
Which I always find that so stupid when any movie does anything to do with vents and crawling through vents. Because one, those vents are not that big.
No.
Two, even if they were, they're not that clean. To
Yeah.
make it more realistic.
Yeah.
Please.
And just the cliche of every horror movie with a vent. He's crawling through it as the knife starts stabbing through the edges, and he's like, and he pushes through a grate and lands outside, and he didn't run. He just kind of like brushed himself off. He's like, well, I'm outside, and just started walking casually away.
Yeah, that was so stupid. I would have continued running.
Yeah.
Zigzaggy.
Yeah. And this is where that whole, hey, have you seen my taser bit comes back because the killer pops up and
He uses a taser on Rodrigo.
tases him and he falls into the fountain outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then the killer walks over and grabs him and then slashes his throat and just leaves him in the fountain.
Yeah. Makes him drink something, too.
Oh, he stuffs the pills down his throat.
Was it the pills? I
Yeah.
thought it was some type of liquid.
No, he stuffed the pills down his throat. That's what.
Oh, shit, man.
Which this kill felt very
Wrong.
because he didn't really have a secret where he did anything like to harm anybody. He just had an addiction problem.
He had an addiction, like he needed help.
It's just mean-spirited.
It is, yes, because man's just needed help.
Yeah. Like I know murder itself is mean-spirited, but this one, I don't know, it just felt off.
It just didn't feel like it had a purpose.
Yeah. So this is now a month later because they were out of school for October after this. And now it's the first football game since school shutting down for October. So they're at the football game. And everybody's upset and sad, especially Alex, who, she's crying all the time. But she is like, I already know who did it. Like, I don't need to question it. I know it was Ollie. Like, we all know it was him. He was there that night. The killer used a taser, which he only could have gotten from his brother. And then Zach even chimes in and he's like, think about it. He has access to police files so he could find out anything he wants about any of us, which it all makes sense.
And they're not the only ones thinking that, because somebody wrote monster on his locker too.
Oh, murderer.
Was it? I thought it was monster.
Or murderer.
Murderer?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look back at that.
Okay.
I think it says monster.
I read good.
If not, Mandela effect.
There you go. And that's when Makani gets pissed at Alex and she's like, do you just fucking hate everybody? And she just gets up and storms off. And she fucks off and leaves. And then is that when she meets up with, she meets up with Ollie. And he's like, oh, I want to take you to the ocean. And it's like, oh, this is going to be cheesy. She's like, we live in Nebraska. And they drive in the middle of a cornfield. And like, they stand on top of a shitty car. And like, he's like, see, it sounds like the waves. And it's cheesy. And
it looked a little nice, though.
It did look kind of peaceful. Still cheesy, though. Are you looking back at
I have to. It's
unbelievable.
It's making me. Well, go ahead. Keep talking.
No, I'll wait.
Okay. Where does it happen?
It happened right after the party. Because they're back at school.
Okay, they're back at school.
Mm-hmm. Walking through the hallways, Darby's like, well, I guess nobody cares about anything that happened. Alex is like, I already know who did it. And that's when it cuts to,
it does say murder.
Josh Reed, okay.
Oh, Josh Reed, okay.
Josh Reed, real good.
Words. It makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
It does make more sense than monster.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's a little... I don't know.
On the nose, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh is right. I was wrong.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'll forgive you. So they're having their moment in the cornfield. They're making out on the car. Ollie gets a call from his dumb brother. So he's like, fuck, I got to take this. Otherwise, he's going to just keep calling me. So Michaela goes and sits in the car. And she's moving a bunch of stuff. And the glove box pops open. And that's when she finds a taser. And she's like, what the fuck?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. She's like, Kill used the taser. What the fuck? She's like, are all my friends right? Goddamn. So she closes it quickly, and Ollie gets in the car, and they're chatting, and he says some things she doesn't like. And then she's like, did you read my file? And he admitted that he did read her file. He knows everything about her.
And he was like, yeah, I know you.
And then she storms off, and he's like, what, are you going to hitchhike? And yells and calls her by her real name, Makani Sunwoo. And it felt very out of place, him yelling that. I don't know. It sounded weird when he yelled it.
It sounded really creepy.
It's like Makani Sunwoo.
I would know that. Like, I would just be like, you are the murderer. There's no way. You are a creep.
Yeah.
And then he gets mad. He's like, oh, come on. Like, what are you going to do? Hitchhike all the way from here? And then this is where Dave comes back into the picture. Remember how we were talking about a guy doing his own little private Uber?
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty creepy, though.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that girl Katie, she deserved it. She was a bitch. Not like you. You're a nice girl. Like saying really creepy shit. And then they get to her house, and right now, Makani will be home alone because her grandma's at the sleep study thing.
She was supposed to stay at Alex's house because her grandma did not want her staying home alone
Yeah.
during that time. And so they had made arrangements that she would go to Alex's house. But at this point, Alex and her got into a little bit of a fight
Mm-hmm.
because of she was saying Ollie was the murderer and whatever. And instead of Makani defending him, she just gets all mad and she tries to give the benefit of the doubt, but not like great. So she does storm off.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they're fighting now. I personally would have packed up my shit and gone to Darby's house or something.
Yeah. But so she's in the car with Dave. They park in front of her house. And he's like, "Oh, are you here all by yourself?" Like the creepiest thing you could ask somebody. She's like, "Nope, my parents are home. They just go to bed early." Smart answer. Very smart. Gets out, goes, watches for him to drive off creepily and slowly.
Yeah, and he's just staying there right now. And I wouldn't have even walked into the house. So Josh and I had a creepy Uber moment once in the past too, when we came back from, I believe it was Disney, that we had to land.
Which time?
Okay.
Oh,
one of the times we had to change our flight because there was a storm and we had to land in New York instead.
Yeah, we had to land in LaGuardia.
So we were going to get an Uber to New Jersey or Lyft, and you know how they have those random people that come up to you and they were like, "Oh, well, Uber's going to charge you this, I'll charge you that." And at first I thought he was an Uber driver and he just like took our stuff and rolled out with it.
Yeah.
So we felt very uncomfortable during this drive. And
it was a long drive.
It was a long drive.
It's like
we
an
were
hour and a
sitting
half.
there. I felt uncomfortable because I was like, this is not an Uber driver. This is some random guy. And he's driving us. He's not really making any type of small talk or anything. Mind you, it's like 1 or 2 in the morning. So I understand. But he was off.
Yeah.
So I started putting my fingerprints against the window, and I had my ID in my hand because they always say, like, if you get taken or something, try to slip your ID inside the seat cushion or underneath the front seat chair or something, somewhere that if you get taken and whatever, somebody will find you. Another good thing would have been to like send our location out to somebody, but nobody's awake at that time.
It was 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and then I started ripping some parts of my hair and dropping it down on the floor. I was being so paranoid.
You're texting me on the side, being like, "Get ready in case he pulls over," and I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, because I was like, I'm putting my DNA all in this car. If I get killed, my family will have justice for me.
Yeah, I sat behind him. I would have just like choked him out. It's fine. It's neither here nor there. We're back with our cats.
Yeah. So when he dropped us off, we waited for him to leave before we went into our house.
Yeah, because we didn't want him to know which one was ours. We even gave him a different house number.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry for our neighbors if they got murdered, but we're okay.
We're okay. We're here. We're alive. We are here to tell you
a creepy Uber experience.
Another day. Yeah.
So Makani is alone in the house. She gets attacked.
Doesn't she go upstairs? She goes upstairs, she goes to sleep, or she tries to.
She hears a noise and thinks it's her grandma.
Yeah, she thinks it's her grandma. She comes down the stairs, and the fireplace is full on blasting.
Engulfed.
And there's pictures everywhere.
And this is where we learn her past. Finally. There's pictures of a burn victim all over the room.
Newspaper article of a teen involved in a hazing.
in a burning of a fellow classmate.
Yeah.
And as she bends down to pick up one of these news articles, you see the killer behind her outside the window. And she stands up, and the taser comes through the window and tases the shit out of her. And then the killer comes through the window and starts dumping lighter fluid all over her. And then lights up one of these news articles and is about to, light
Burn
her.
her.
Yeah. And that's when you see the lights from a car pull up and
And she takes that time, that swift moment to like grab the killer's leg.
mm,
So the killer falls on the ground and Makani's able to like shimmy a little bit away.
yeah,
Well,
then
she was just tased, so
yeah, the killer takes off though.
he takes off. Alex runs in
And
and was like, "Oh my God, your Graham called me that you were supposed to come stay over."
and she calls 911 and takes her to the hospital. And Makani then, tells them exactly what she did in her past.
Yeah, at this point, everything about Makani is her dirty laundry is out. Everybody knows in town about it. But her friends, they're good. They're good people. They were like, we saw the article, but I stopped reading it so you can tell your part of the story.
Oh, also, Ollie got arrested as a suspect.
Yeah,
That happened too.
that's when she looks at Alex and she's like, "You were right. It was Ollie." Ollie gets arrested.
And then they're all in the hospital room, and Makani's like, all right, back when I played sports, and they were like, you played sports? And I was like, really, that's the part you're going to hang on to, not the burn victim. The fact that she played sports is more interesting. Got it. So she played sports, and it was her first year on varsity they didn't even say what sport, I don't think.
I believe it was swimming because I saw them in bathing suits.
It's also Hawaii.
Yeah, so some type of water activity.
Something
So
like
probably swimming, surfing, any of
something.
those.
Yeah. Then you see the senior girls hazing the shit out of them, dumping alcohol down their throats and like basically making them fight each other. And there's a huge bonfire. And Makani is like, hey, to her friend, and then shoves her, and her friend lands in the fire and gets burned.
First of all, the seniors were, I'm believing that they're seniors, or the
Mm.
older girls, they were dumping hard liquor into
Mhm.
all of these girls.
Yeah, they got her fucked up.
They got each of them fucked up and tried to get them to turn on each other. They wrote like bitch on her forehead. It was just horrible hazing, and they could barely walk straight or anything. And one of her team members that also got hazed lightly shoved her.
Mm.
And then Makani turned around and shoved her back, but a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But it was definitely an accident. But girl went directly into the fire.
Yeah. She did live. She didn't die, but she got really badly burned.
Mm-hmm.
Makani got arrested and charged, and that's why she had to go live with her grandma in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, my parents split up. I'm sure they were just looking for a reason to split anyway. But she's like, yeah, that's why I'm here, basically. So after this touching moment, everybody hugs. Like, oh, that's fun. We learned that the the local corn festival is happening because they love corn in Nebraska, and it's ran by Zach's father, who took this opportunity to hire his own private security because he wants to get rid of the police force so he could control literally everything. Um, he's getting interviewed that this is like the fifth annual corn festival bullshit, whatever. And, everybody come on down and have a good time. And um, Makani is outside of the school. She just missed the bus to go there. And she calls her friends and they're like, all right, we'll turn around and pick you up. And
you see Ollie pulling up in his car.
Because he got released.
So then she starts freaking out. So she runs into the school and starts running, pulls out her phone to call the police, calls the police, says something along the lines of, Ollie's here. I don't feel safe, pretty much. I know that's not exactly what she says, but she says something along those lines. Runs straight into Caleb. And then she starts freaking out to Caleb, like, oh my God, Caleb, thank God. Ollie's here. And Caleb's like, what? And then all of a sudden, killer stabs poor, innocent Caleb.
Oh, Caleb. Yeah, you just see the knife come through his chest.
Deserved better.
Yeah. And then
I looked him up, the actor that played him, and he was in, I don't know if you know the movie, but he was in a couple of Nickelodeon things, but nothing great, probably past our time. But he was in a movie called Jinxed with Sierra Bravo.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and remember that girl that you met at your store that her dad was talking her up?
Hold on.
She was also in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. She played the daughter. She was also in that movie.
What was her name? Alana Camporis?
Yes.
Elena?
Yes. Yeah, so Josh actually met her briefly because I'm pretty sure she is here from New Jersey.
Yeah, her father's her agent, and they stopped into our store one day, and he was talking her up to us like we could help her career, which we couldn't. But he was like, yeah, this is my daughter. She's been in this and that and this and that. And it was very like, okay.
I guess you never know who could really help you with your career. But anyways, he was in that movie. He wasn't a main character, but he was like a side character. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this movie, he is Caleb, and he gets stabbed. He gets fucking stabbed.
And he drops to the floor. The killer, Makani is, I've been calling her Michaela. I'm pretty sure I've said a few times, but I always get her name.
I haven't heard you say Michaela.
I had it in my notes as Michaela, and then I realized I had it wrong the whole time. Makani is frozen in fear.
Michaela's like the American version of Makani, I feel like.
I mean, Hawaii. Anyway, the killer hands the knife to her, which confused me. Hands her the bloody-ass knife and then just leaves. And then we see Ollie run in from behind and immediately go and help Caleb.
And then he calls the cops. So then that's when you realize, oh, Ollie is not the killer, even though I'm pretty sure anybody watching the movie is like, Ollie's definitely not the killer.
Yeah.
Because he's not the most obvious person.
Yeah. No.
Always. It's not always the most obvious person.
Yeah. No.
Her friends run in, Alex, Darby run in. The killer places the knife in her hand, and she just is frozen. She's not doing anything. She's still holding the knife.
She holds the knife for the rest of the movie.
It's insane. I was like, who the F holds a knife? Like, instinctively, I would drop the knife. Right?
I guess some people would. Yeah.
Or I wouldn't hold on to it that long. But even when they all get in the car, so obviously ambulance and whatever comes for Caleb.
Yeah.
And then Makani's like, I know where they're going to be. They're going to be at the cornfield at this event.
Mm-hmm.
So they all get in Ollie's car. And this is where I'm laughing because, and it's not a funny movie, Makani's still holding the knife.
Still holding the knife, covered in blood.
Covered in blood, holding the knife. And
they're like, where's Zach? And it's like, oh, he's working the corn maze for his father.
Yeah, so they start calling Zach like crazy. Because at this point they think it's Zach's dad.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I think that's what they were trying to hint at, that it was Zach's dad.
But we see the actual killer. Nobody notices this person.
That's what I thought was funny.
You pointed this out last night. You're like, does nobody fucking see this? And you see the killer walk through a crowd of people into the corn maze with a big sword strapped to his back and just vanishes into the corn and starts dumping the smallest bottle of lighter fluid into the corn.
It is a cornfield, though, so I feel like even if you light it and it catches one on fire, that's very flammable, so it would spread fast.
I guess. Yeah.
So I understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, that's fair. So the whole thing catches fire. Uh, as they're driving there, they get a call from Zach screaming like, "Help! Help! Killer's here! Like it's all on fire!" And then he hangs up.
He has a bad signal, so it's barely like, because they're like, Zach, you got to get out of there, and he's like, I got to find my dad.
Yeah, gotta find my dad. So they get there and they see that people are trapped in the cornfields. So they're like, we have to clear a path through the fucking fire. And McConaughey's like, didn't you say this car's a piece of shit? And Ollie's like, oh, okay. So he floors it through the cornfield, clearing a path for people to get out. This pissed me off as well. I will say why. So the car, it stalls out. They jump out. He runs back, grabs the taser, and then they're running through the corn maze. And they're like, we got to help get people out. This pissed me off to no end. I brought it up when we were finished watching it. It's a cornfield. You don't have to stay on the path. If you see fire in one direction, just run the other way. Just keep going until there's no fire.
It's funny because he's saying this to me, and I didn't even think about this.
It's just annoying.
And I was like, yeah, you're right, actually.
They could have just left at any time. Like, oh, it's on fire. Maybe we should go do something else. Like, you don't have to stay on the path. Anyway.
But I feel like all those kids have really, really poor IQ. And I will mention as to why when we get to the very end.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's the whole group of them there. They're like, we have to find Zach. McConaughey's like, no, Darby, Alex, you help get people out through the way we came in. Ollie and I will go find Zach. So they split up. Always a smart move. McConaughey and Ollie happen upon the killer holding a sword to Zach's father, wearing a mask of his face, arguably the only mask in the movie that looked like the victim.
Yeah, because the dad is like an old man, I guess. And the mask actually looks like an old man.
Yeah. Had like facial hair and everything.
Yeah, and I was like, wow.
It was pretty damn good. So
Finally got the 3D printer to work in his favor.
for real, goddamn. So the killer swings and stabs Zach's father right through the fucking head.
Well, Zach's dad is like pleading with him, please, I have a family.
And means nothing. Stabbed through the head, he drops, and McConaughey and Ollie are like, holy shit. And then killer's standing there all cool with the sword, and then immediately has a bitch fit. It's like, damn it, that was supposed to go differently. And he takes the mask off to reveal it's Zach.
Yeah, I only get one chance to kill my dad.
You only kill your father one time.
Yeah.
He's like, I was going to say something super cool. And, oh, god damn it. And you have to tell me what his motive was, because I'm still unclear.
So his motive was so stupid because his motive is basically he didn't ask to be privileged. Or no, he shouldn't be ashamed that he is privileged and that he was born from privilege and that he couldn't hide from that secret because he bared his dad's last name. So people always made fun of him, harassed him, and he got bullied really badly because his dad basically owns half of the town. So a lot of people either worked for his dad or were losing their properties for pennies by his father. So they were getting their lives ruined by his father. And all the kids were taking it out on him, pretty much. So he just wanted to expose everybody and be like, well, I can't hide behind my secret, so y'all can't either.
Such a dumb motive.
Which is a dumb, very, very dumb motive. Even McConaughey's like, so you killed people because you're privileged?
It's like, that's fucking retarded,
Yeah.
bro.
They look at him like he's fucking retarded
Yeah.
too. Because it is. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But Ollie goes and tries to tase him, and the taser does not work. Ollie gets stabbed in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
He drops. McConaughey is still frozen in fear, holding a fucking giant bloody knife from 2 hours earlier. And, you know, they're talking back and forth and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'm going to blame you. And
Your fingerprints are all over the knife
yeah,
that killed Jackson, killed Katie, killed Rodrigo.
wouldn't it be fitting that somebody who burned somebody in Hawaii set people on fire here in Nebraska where she was hiding? Like, it is solid point.
Solid
Yeah.
scapegoat.
But then the taser started working, I guess, and Ollie shoots it, completely misses. But I guess that makes McConaughey snap out of it and attack him and stab him. And he goes down, she stabs him again, and then goes to tend to Ollie, and then it cuts to a few months later, their senior prom.
Yeah, a few months later, senior prom. She's going to prom with Ollie. Graham's taking a picture of them. And then it goes to graduation. And somehow, McConaughey, who transferred from a different school, is up there saying a speech. And I was like, how the fuck is she saying a speech? Unless she's valedictorian, but how the fuck are you valedictorian if you were a transfer student?
I, I'd love to say it's because she's the one that killed the killer, but why would they reward murder? But that's Nebraska. I don't know how they do it over there.
That's why I go back to my theory of, well, everybody in that town is stupid. And the IQ is low because instead of running in the other direction of where the fire is in the cornfield, they run through where it's all smoky and everything and they can't see.
Yeah. The dumbest shit football players are like, we don't know how to get out of here. It's like, go the other way, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, so maybe they're just all like idiots and she's somewhat smart, so she's valedictorian.
It was a cheesy ending after prom and graduation because it shows little clips of each of them getting accepted into like the programs and colleges that they wanted. And it's like, oh, Darby got into NASA and Alex got into
A music program,
Manhattan Music Program and this
college.
and it's like, all right, we got it, everything works out. And then that was the end of the movie. Which
Yeah,
is fine.
which is fine.
It is
I
what
mean,
it is.
you watched it, you had a good solid watch of a movie. That probably is why the Rotten Tomatoes rate is a little bit lower because it kind of is like all of that happens and then it just ends.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a movie, so
It
what do
is
you
what
think?
it is.
It's our second movie doing something cornfield related. I think this is a way better one than Clown in the Cornfield.
Yeah.
I like the killer, like you said,
Yeah.
the concept of them using a mask that looks like the person they were about to kill. Could they have executed it a little bit better? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then cleaned up some loose ends with certain things? Yes.
Yes.
But maybe this movie is based on a book also. So maybe they try to get it as close as possible to the book.
Yeah.
Not too sure. Haven't read the book. Didn't even know it was a book until today.
Same. I didn't know till just now when you said it.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I did enjoy it. I'd give it a solid 6.
I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
I'd give it a 7. I think I probably gave Didn't I give Tremors like a 6.5?
Mm-hmm.
I gave it like a 6 or 6.5. I'd give this one a 7.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the actors.
yeah.
Everybody did great. Not well-known actors. They all looked like high school students.
Yeah, I didn't like I kind of liked all the main actors. There's a lot of movies where I'll watch and I'm like, all these people are just annoying.
Hmm.
I didn't mind anybody in this.
No, I didn't mind anybody at all. Everybody did solid. Even Zach, I didn't not like him either.
He was a fun character.
He was a fun character, and he was very likable.
Yeah.
The whole movie, he was pretty likable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you really know it's him. I feel like I had a hunch that it was him when we got to the party
Mm-hmm.
and like the Nazi stuff. I was like, that's probably the killer.
Well, that and when Rodrigo
Yeah.
told his secret, he made a face
Uh-huh.
when he realized it wasn't his real secret.
Yeah. So he seemed extra disappointed.
Mm.
So that's why I was kind of like, it probably is Zach. I never thought it was Ollie.
No.
Because I was like, it's
too easy.
He is creepy. Sorry to the actor who plays him. But you play a good creepy person.
Yeah.
But he's just like awkward. And I was like, I know when I watched it with one of my friends, they thought it was Rodrigo for the longest time until Rodrigo got killed. And they were like, oh, it's not Rodrigo. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. Why would you think it was Rodrigo? I'm like, what made you think it was him?
But no, I enjoyed this one.
Oh, and Caleb doesn't die.
Oh, Caleb
Sorry,
lives.
I think we didn't mention that.
Probably should. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
But yeah, everybody has their happy ending.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, so that is our summary.
Sure.
Our whole spoiler of the whole movie, but definitely watch it.
Yeah, definitely watch it.
Definitely watch it.
It's on Netflix.
There's Someone Inside Your House.
Yes.
2021 on Netflix. And yeah, it was really, really good.
It was good.
To me, it was good.
I liked it. That was your pick. So before we give out our announcements, let me spin real quick. And I will see what the subgenre for next week's episode will be. Come on, something good. Slasher.
I feel like we just did a slasher.
All right, I'll spin again.
I think I need to change some of these.
Yeah, we'll mix it up a little.
I have to change some of these.
I keep planning on slasher. We just did that.
Because you can't spin it on that. You can't do monster again.
Hold on, I'll start it there. We'll do one of these.
Gore.
Okay, I could do that. Absolutely. I know a lot of gory movies, and I'm very excited.
Blood.
Sure. Oh, I'm excited because I have a few in mind already.
All right, so for the special announcements that we have for you guys, we are officially on YouTube.
Yes.
And Apple Music. And Amazon. And we also created an Instagram. Yeah, I was pretty busy this week.
You were very busy.
I was busy this week. I had a couple of people that had mentioned, hey, I would love to check out your podcast, but I don't like Spotify. So let me know when you put it on YouTube. As promised, I was like, all right, no problem. Once we get a couple more episodes in and we have a flow going, I'll work on that. So YouTube was a bitch to put on, but I made it work.
You did.
And then all the other platforms, fairly easy to put on. Yeah, so I was really busy this week doing that. Um, so go ahead and check us out there. Go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram. I think I only have like 2 posts right now
Mhm.
because I just opened it, so bear with us. I'm not really good at social media, but I'm gonna try. Josh is really, really bad at social
Thanks.
media.
Yeah,
Worse than I.
true. We are doing the wheel because it's a lot of fun. I think what we're gonna do at least one time out of the month is listener suggestions
Mhm.
because you already have a few.
Yeah, so I have a few of my coworkers already saying, so actually it goes back to our first horror movie
Mm,
that we watched. I believe that was our very first episode, back to Scream,
mm,
when we were talking about our first horror movies. So a lot of my coworkers came forth and said my first horror movie was this one or that one. You should definitely review those.
mm.
I also got other suggestions, so we'll pick and choose which ones we
Yeah,
want to sort out. But I think we're going to do that maybe at the end of the month.
last week of the month.
Last week of the month, we'll go ahead and do a listener's pick or a listener's choice. So next week we're gonna come back here with gore, whatever Josh picks.
Oh, thank God. I love a good gory movie.
It depends. Love Terrifier, I think it's hilarious.
Mm,
And that I would consider gore. I don't know if that's what you're gonna pick, but that depends on you. The following week is actually my birth week.
yep.
So instead of spinning the wheel that week, because it will be my choice,
Mm,
I already have a particular film that I want to go ahead and review. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But we're going to leave that as a surprise for you guys. So hang in there.
mm,
That'll be in 2 weeks. So probably the 20th or the 21st. Look out for that film review to come out.
mm.
And then 27th or 28th, we're going to have our listeners pick.
Yes.
So please, once you hear this video, not video, sorry, podcast. Once you listen to us here today after you finished this episode, please don't start bombarding us with a whole bunch of suggestions on movies. Um, you know,
That's fine.
one at a time.
Well, yeah, we'll take it as they come and then we'll pick and choose from there.
Yeah, because I know people do get passionate and they're like, oh, do this movie, do this movie, do this movie, do that movie. And I'm like, wait. I'm not going to remember all of them.
It's fine. We'll make a list.
Yes. But we'll get to it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Lots more to come. Once a week.
Yeah. But that's all I got on this one. Next week is gore, is my pick. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.